Okay, this is part 2 of our type 1 past tense video. So we left off here with that Leo. And I invited you to go over here to Den Skolbo and see what would happen. So let's do that right off the bat. At Leo. And look what we have again. Substantive. Noun. No. This is our noun. Right? Leo superscript 1 is our noun. And that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a verb. So like I should do last time, we can come over here and click on this one. And so Javi, and now we have Leo, verb. And what do we have here? Dash DE, right? We know this is a type 1 past tense because when we create the past tense, we add a DE to the end, right? Just like our rule says. To make the type 1 past tense, we add a DE to the end of the infinitive verb. Let's take this ad Leo. I'm going to delete arbeiten. We've talked about that one. And we'll save these two verbs for a little bit later. Okay. At Leo. To make or do. So I make. Well, let's actually use we. We make. Do. What type of tense is this? Present tense, right? This is not the past tense. We make or do. So, what are we going to do? We have our infinitive at Leo, right? And we come up to our rule here. Present tense. From the infinitive, we add an R to the end. We make or do. Simple. Jeg lever. Lever. Jeg lever. And this V is a little bit weird here. In Danish, the V sound makes kind of a, sometimes makes almost a U, a W pronunciation. Lever. 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 And we can even come here and hear it until it's goable.
Lave.
Leo. Leo. Almost like an O sound. Strange. Danish. No. But simple enough. We make or do. Jeg lever. What if I suddenly make this to the past tense? We made or did. Well, we know this, right? Let's start. Oh, look at my mistake. We, not jeg, vi. And we talked about this in our video on present tense. Vi is we. My bad. We made or did. Vi what? Well, we have Leo, take our infinitive, right, our blank canvas, and we'll do something to it. And we know the rule says we add the E to the end. Vi level. 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 All right, and a weirdly pronounced word because we have this weird V sound and a soft D and an E at the end, and so it'll come. Vi level. Vi level. We made or we did. Okay, let's move on. Let's take the next verb. And then we'll come to this one a little bit later. At studere. Studere. Well, if we don't know what this means, luckily we have a great tool in Google Translate. Right, and our verb was studere. Study. Okay, studere is to study, and that is a little bit intuitive. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, I'll learn a new word. I'm going to come right to Denska Orbo and see what Denska Orbo has to say about my verb. Okay. A law just came up. Studere. Am I looking at the right place? Well, how do we know? We come over here and see verb. Verb. Right? And to the pointing here. First, we have our present tense, right? And then we come to the past tense. And what do we have? Dash DE. Perfect. This will fit right in. So, to study. Okay, let's take a different one. You, plural, study. How do I say this? Well, You plural. How do we say that? Well, let's come up and check out. You plural. E. E. So we have E. Study. Well, studeer is study, but we have to do something to it, right? And with that is to add an R because we're in the present tense. E studeer. E studeer. Okay. How about you plural studied in the past tense? Well, E, we still have E, we're talking about you in the plural. Studied, past tense. So we still take our infinitive, studeer, and we do something to it. And what we're going to do is follow the rule. The rule says add de to the end of the infinitive verb. I studerede, 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 studerede. Right? I studerede. You studied. Perfect. Let's take our last one. At tro. At tro. And well, what do we do in our word? We go to Google Translate, and Google Translate will tell us to believe. And we can see a few more translations. Believe, think, expect. This verb takes on a little bit more than just believe. It can be I think, or I believe, almost a religious belief, or it could be a think, as in your belief about something. This is a great word to learn in Danish, and I will probably make a video in the future that talks more about this verb. Now, let's look it up. Tro. Okay, we have a few options here. Tro. Right, this is our noun. We don't want to look at this. We're not talking about nouns, we're talking about verbs. So we'll come here to the next one, and we'll see this is a verb. Now, oh no. This is different, right? This is a little bit more than just a DE at the end. We have EDE. Right, the second place after this, so we have our present tense, always going to come first. Then we're going to have the past tense. And we can see this past tense a little different. But look at, notice we're still ending in DE. So we're still going to categorize this verb as a type 1. Now, the reason we add an extra E is for pronunciation's sake. Because all of these type 1 past tense verbs will end with the same I sound at the end. Right? And the only way we can do that is if we add an extra E in there. Because otherwise, we mess with the pronunciation and we might lose the soft D, or the D might make a different sound. We don't want to do that. We want to keep the pronunciation at the end of the words always the same. So sometimes we'll have to add an E to the end. And so that's what we're going to do in this case with the verb tro. I'm going to add an E to the end of our verb. And that's just something to be aware of. I don't have a specific rule when it should be or should not add an extra letter. It'll be something you pick up and something you can always look up. But in any case, the verb will always end in E, D-E. And I guess I can't give you the rule, right? Because look at most of our infinitive verbs. They almost always end in E. Leo, studerer, Arbeitsbestreger, but all these end in E. But this one doesn't. So I guess I can't give you a rule. I'll write that. If the infinitive doesn't end in an E, add EDE to create the type 1 past tense. Okay. And then I'll add this here. Now quickly, I believed. How would we say this? Well, jeg tror, follow a rule, right? At ed. Jeg troede. I believed. Okay, I hope that makes sense, and we'll see you in the next video.